Hey, everybody, how we doing out there? This is Chance Rush, man. I believe this is episode webinar number 6 being presented by the Center for Native American Youth. I'm Chance Rush. At the Aspen Institute, I'm Chance Rush. I've had the privilege to serve as the moderator these past webinars. Today, we have a very special edition. Music is Medicine. And we are joined by 3 not only powerful, awesome entertainers, musicians, but 3 that really love who we are, love what we're about, and is taking their talents to the highest levels to promote who we are as tribal people. I am joined by our relatives, Hannah, Jaden, and my main man, Mr. Taboo. As we get started with this webinar, I know that the pandemic, COVID, has really set a lot of things aside, but, it also has given us the opportunity to advance who we are while the world's on stop, advance who we are, prepare ourselves, get us ready for the next round. I know people back home listening in, I know that you've, you had to cancel a lot of things and you're not able to attend a lot of things, but we're just so grateful that the center has came up with Tele-Native. I know that we've been talking about mental health. We've been talking about, movement is medicine. We're going to be talking about politics. We're going to be talking about everything that young people want to get engaged with. So it truly is an opportunity. Before we get started, I just want to encourage you to say your prayers, keep your hands clean, wear your mask, social distance if you can, and stay home as much as possible. We're all going to get through this together. We will. And we just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, music does so much, not just for us as individuals, but also does a lot for our tribe, our culture, our communities. We have we have all types of songs. We have prayer songs, we have victory songs, we have honor songs. We have goodbye songs, we have welcome home songs, and not just, like a certain avenue, but from all over, from our relatives out in Hawaii, from my brothers, and my sisters, whatever it may be, that we have an opportunity to share. So, with that being said, with me today, I have Hannah, I have Jaden, and I have Taboo. And we're going to start with Jaden. Hannah, just introduce yourself. We'll go ladies first. Hannah, introduce yourself. Then we'll go down the line with Jaden and Taboo to follow. So welcome to the webinar, Hannah. Introduce yourself and then pass it off to Jaden.
All right. Aloha mai kako o wau o hana kaili mea o Aiwohi no wailuku maui mai au. So aloha everyone. My name is Hana Ka'ilimea Aiwohi, and I am Native Hawaiian and was born and raised in Wailuku, Maui. I am 18 years old and just graduated from high school in May, class of 2020. And thank you so much for having me today. I'm very excited to be here. And yeah, thank you.
All right, Jaden, what you got?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaden Parker. I'm coming from the Tonawanda Reservation in Western New York. I am of the Seneca people, and I'm 20 years old. Yeah, I'm glad to be here, and welcome to everyone.
All right, and then also to our birthday boy, the one, the only, Black Eyed Peas, Taboo. What's up, bro?
Indian country. My name is Jimmy Gomez, aka Taboo Nawasha. I am native Shoshone and Hopi, and also Mexica. So I'd like to say a couple words in Spanish. Hola amigos, estoy muy emocionado de estar aquí con ustedes. I'm very blessed to be able to connect with both indigenous roots, and I'm proud of my cultures. I'm proud to be a voice and a representative, and I'm honored to be here with these amazing youth. Hannah and Jaden, I've had the honor of working with Jaden in the past. He's an amazing artist. I would love to hear Hannah and what she's gonna bring to the table, because I know she has a beautiful spirit, and I can't wait for the world to hear the music and to speak on this emotional movement, because I get choked up thinking about it, because music is a healing process. And I not only did I celebrate my 21st birthday yesterday, yes, I just turned 21, ladies and gentlemen. I got
Yeah.
you, Jaden. So I celebrated my 21st birthday, but also I celebrated my 6 years of being cancer-free. So music is part of my healing process.
Yeah, man. We appreciate that, Taboo. And I know that, we may talk a little bit about that later on, just your journey. And, we're just so thankful that you're with us. We're so thankful that, all three of you are with us. I know that you guys are all very busy and you guys just have a little bit of time to sit and visit with us here at Tele-Native. So with that being said, we'll get started and I'll just ask some questions. Hannah, believe it or not, you are the first one of our Hawaiian relatives, Native Hawaiian to come onto the webinar. And, just off the bat, I just have to ask, ask a couple questions here. Can you share a little bit about the Native Hawaiian culture and explain some of the different types of traditional songs and chants? And how are those utilized to heal your community? Shed light.
So a lot of the Native Hawaiian culture is actually based in its practices of their traditional songs and chants. And so, like you had said, there are so many different types of forms of music that people can practice. And so in the Native Hawaiian culture, we use a lot of oli for chanting. And this is the traditional way that our poems and songs are presented is through oli. And we also have mele, our songs, which are chanted to our gods, to our kupuna or elders, and to our people, and lastly to our aina or our land. And in this way, chanting allows our energy to attract and connect with other energy that is surrounding us. And like you had said, and I had said prior, that mele comes in many different forms. So probably one of the most common types is mele aloha. And mele aloha is written to show affection and a bond between the composer and the recipients of the mele. So the mele can show love for a friend, love for the aina or land, love for a guest or hoakipa, and etc. And there are even actually types of mele aloha used to mourn like the passing of a loved one. For example, the mele kanikau is a type of eulogy chant honoring someone who has passed. And this chant is reiterated for like the stories and the accomplishments pertaining to the person's life that had passed. And it's recited normally in the presence of surviving family members at the place where the deceased is laid to rest. So the kanikau really evokes a lot of tremendous emotion, but it really just wraps up the circle or the life phase and completes a release of grief for the family and people there. Oli is also a safety device used to reach into the realm of the unseen. For example, the mele pale is a chant used to ask for protection and for the spiritual clearance before starting a difficult task. And in the Hawaiian worldview, life doesn't end with death. And so oftentimes our ancestors are able to return to this world as guardians for future generations. And these guardians we refer to as aumakua, and they're seen in familiar animals around us, such as owls, hawks, sharks, or lizard. And each family is actually given one or two animal forms that are associated with them. And it is our belief that whenever you need your own pool or your ancestors, all you have to do is call upon them and they'll come. And there's another type of chant called pulekala, which is done to release negative energy. Kala meaning forgive. So this type of only is an act of humility to ask for forgiveness and to forgive like anything or anyone. Even if you don't feel that you have anything to forgive, this chant really helps you to release anything you're unconsciously holding on to that we may not be aware of.
Sorry about that. Hopefully, I didn't want to give you guys any feedback. I apologize about that, but hopefully we get to hear some a little later on at the end of the webinar. Moving over here, Jaden, you've been singing and dancing. It seems like pretty much your whole life. Like Hannah, can you kind of share some of the different styles of singing and whatever it may be, and what drew you to both want to be a dancer and a singer?
So, from as far as I can remember, I started dancing and singing since the age of 3, and really going around and just listening and sitting there and being with my elders and my family. That really struck my interest towards it. Listening to the songs, and we have a lot of singers in my family, so it kind of just naturally fell in place that I started to sing, and so I could sing with them really, and hang out with them and sit down with them and learn. There's different songs. We have a side that we call the Yoinzake Ka Hatagainonge. So it's the songs of the earth. So those are our social songs. And along those lines, it's pretty neat to really hear all the different variations of songs, because not all of our social dances originate from my people. So over time, we have met with other nations, and along those lines have traded many different songs and dances. And so it's good to see that in that time, they entrusted us with their dances, and still to this day that we carry them out and do them. With dancing, throughout our longhouse, there's many different opportunities that can happen. There's singing, there's speaking roles, there's also dancing roles and leadership roles. So, and it kind of varies on who's going to do what when it comes time. So if I wasn't singing, I would be dancing. And over that time, I grew my interest to it, and when my family started to spread out, and kind of just ended up to be me, my grandmothers, and my mother at the time, I no longer had anybody with me to sing or dance to. So over that time, I would then sing and dance to myself. So
hey, yeah,
I kept it going through myself, and just had fun with myself. And then come Longhouse time, it was even better, because then I had everybody else, And then throughout that, naturally coming into singing, I started the northern style of singing, and that took me way far. I got to go out west, got to go up north, and spend a lot of time and get a lot of teachings, learn, and be able to sing with some great people. Throughout that, it really broke my ranges of what I could reach in my singing voice, and really showed me what there is to be reached, and what there is to be learned about music.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, that's as far as I can think.
Wow. Hey, thank you, brother. Hey, to me, that's a reminder to me, is just sing and dance to yourself. Honestly, I can't dance, but I like that. Sing and dance to yourself. I appreciate your words, Jaden. We'll come back to you in a second. Tab, before I ask you, I'm gonna turn this over to you here in a second. I have to tell you this to you, because, Taboo, you're one of the most grounded people that I know, and I'm very grateful for it. And even like, last week, you and the Black Eyed Peas were on national TV. You had your medallion on. I know that you guys go back all the way to you guys were 16 years old. And, you know, one thing I have to say real quick is about a couple of years ago, I don't know if you remember that I called you and talking to this, you talked to this complete stranger, but I was at this audition, the song came on and this lady started crying and she said, you know, this is my husband's favorite song. And it was Where's the Love? And out of nowhere, you know, I wanted to text you or I wanted you to send her a picture or whatever, but I just had something on my heart to call you. And when I called you, you answered, and I don't know if you remember, you talked to her for like 30 seconds, but man, that just kind of, and then when she gave me the phone back, she said, you know what, that's the love, you know, it's people who are grounded, people who love who they are and where they're coming from. We know that you love, you know, that you're tribal. And so in saying that, you know, what inspired you to set forth on this path to lead you to where you are today? And how do you stay inspired to keep going?
Well, first of all, Chance, thank you for those kind words, man. You know, you've been a good friend of mine for years, and I do remember that call. I remember speaking to the woman and just feeling like if I could share those 30 seconds, whatever time, to let her know that I'm coming from a place where I will give her my undivided attention at that moment. You know, we want to be with the people, and that's something that kind of goes along with the answer that I'm going to give you on why I reconnected on this journey with not only my indigenous roots, but also with being of service and trying to help Indian country in any way that I can. And even beyond Indian country, indigenous people around the world. That's my mission, is to be able to be a voice, not only for folks here in the US, but also around the world, because I am part of a band that is international. We speak to people in Australia, and I've been very blessed to meet Aboriginal relatives. We go to Brazil, and I've met some Amazonian relatives. So for me, my mission started here, and it started at Standing Rock, to be honest with you. I've always been proud of both my cultures. I've always represented both of my cultures to the fullest. But being a voice to Indian country was something that I was blessed and honored to partake when I went to Standing Rock. And I was part of this journey with an amazing Hawaiian sister. Her name is Shailene Woodley. And she actually came aboard and blessed us with this song called Stand Up, Stand and Rock, No Dapple, that we created for the water protectors. And I had the blessing of having Marcus MC1, I had Dreezus, Superman, the Batier brothers, the Seminole brothers, Doc and Spencer. We had Shailene Woodley be the start of the song. She made an amazing poem as being part of the Standing Rock movement, along with my brother Two Bears. He's always spoke very highly of her. So there's always been a connection to my ancestry through my grandmother. She was the matriarch of my family, and her love and appreciation for being from Jerome, Arizona, and being a strong Native woman. She never claimed LA, even though she was from LA. Even though she was from Arizona and moved to LA, she was like, nope, I'm proud of Jerome, Arizona. I'm a proud Native woman, and this is who I am. So like Jaden, my grandmother was my inspiration to do what I do today. She would sit in her living room and she would say, from Los Angeles, California, give it up for Jimmy Gomez. And I would be performing in her living room at 5 years old, and just seeing the smile and the joy that I brought by dancing or performing. I didn't know what I was doing, but my grandmother was shaping and molding what was to become my journey. And her roots and her ancestry and her pride just bled into my pride. And every time I step on that stage, you see that warrior spirit because of my grandmother. You see how much I represent Indian country. Even at, like you said, July 4th, doing a show for, with the Black Eyed Peas, I was representing Indian country. Even though it was an NBC show, like I was like, hey, this is who I am. I represent, and I'm glad that I got that platform and I can be a voice because I'm humbled by the opportunity to say, look, I don't know everything about being Native. I'm an urban Native, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to be vulnerable enough to say, look, I want to educate myself. How can I learn how to advance and better myself? Not only as a voice, but also as a person that wants to listen. I want to listen and understand ways that we can be of service and help others. It's not about me, it's about we.
Wow, man. Thank you, Tab. I do appreciate that. Hey, I cannot wait to meet your grandma one day. And I really mean
Actually, unfortunately, dude, a creator, you know, had a bigger plan for her. She left us in 1996. And honestly, she's with me all the time, no matter what. Her spirit, her power, her gift of that warrior, never say die mentality. She was with me while I was battling cancer. And although I was balancing holistic healing in traditional ways, I also had to do chemotherapy because I was on a time constraint of like, if I didn't go into that action, then my tumor would have been spreading. And my grandmother, creator, were there right with me, and that's why I beat it, because of the warrior spirit. And that led me to Standing Rock.
And like I said, I cannot wait to meet her, because great people will always meet great people, brother. You know,
Love that. Thank you, bro.
And congratulations if you guys you haven't seen the video. Stand Up. It is by produced by Taboo and his whole crew, Mag 7. And congratulations not on just winning the VMA presented by MTV, but congratulations because last week your awareness, all of our awareness, the activists and the protesters, we stopped it. So we are still in a fight, but we're still going to go win. So
honestly, Chance, they knocked us down, but we weren't out of the fight, bro. They might have knocked us down, but we were still fighting. And honestly, we have that resilience over the years of our ancestors and relatives going through these obstacles and these battles. We never give up fighting. Right. And that was the prime example of never give up fighting.
Still here. All you listeners out there, man. We're
Invisible no more. We're still here.
Still here. Man, all through music. This is what music is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, listen, Hannah, you recently graduated from Kamehameha School. Culture is a large part of the curriculum at Kamehameha. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Can you tell us a little more about this school and how it has supported you growing love for your culture and music?
Yes, so Kamehameha Schools was actually founded by the Native Hawaiian princess, Bernice Poahi Bishop. And during her lifetime, she really witnessed the decline of the Native Hawaiian population. So she knew that education would be the key to survival for her people. So when she ultimately passed, she left her entire estate of 375,000 acres of ancestral land to create a school specifically for Native Hawaiians. And today, this school supports almost 7,000 students, and we are very fortunate in that our Hawaiian cultural practices are incorporated into all aspects of our curriculum. So we learn in all of our different classes just the basis of Hawaiian values and how to implement that into our community and later into the world. And while I began attending Kamehameha, I had the opportunity to begin dancing hula under the direction of Kumu Kapono'ai Molitau and Pili Young, amongst other kumu, our teachers. And it was really through hula that I learned the importance of traditional mele, our songs, and our oli and chants. And I participated in different contests. For example, in 2014, I participated for the first time in the Malia Craver Hula Kahiko competition. And through the months of preparation for that competition, which we ultimately won, it really just sparked my passion for practicing hula and traditional chants and songs.
I'm going to come back to you and we're going to talk a little bit about that award that you won. Okay, I'll make sure we do that. Hey, Jaden, man, I watched, I'm pretty sure, I know that I've seen you perform before. You know, I know that you're kind of known all over the place, whether it was a hand drum, singing by yourself at a powwow in front of thousands of people. Wanted to know from you as what in all your travels at a young age, what are some of your most cherished and favorite memories singing?
one memory that I can think of right now is when I had traveled to North Dakota or no, not North Dakota, Washington. My bad, Washington. For a powwow there, and there was a hand drum contest that I had entered, and I was just a little guy, and at that time I was going up against a lot of older men, and before then, when I would sing, the hand drum contests that I was entering weren't as large as this one yet. So normally, you know, I wasn't nervous at the other ones, and I would go in, and it was just something that I loved to do, you know. So I had no fear going into it, and it wasn't as big, so it didn't really come to my mind that nervousness. But at this one, because there was a lot of people, and they were older than me, and they had beautiful voices, man, they could really sing. So I entered it, and sure enough, every little bit there was more and more rounds, and I was making it up those rounds, and it was a lot of singing. It was definitely a lot more singing than I've done previous. So I'm getting all the way up, and then every round I made it up. That's when the nerves got even higher and higher and picked up, and then finally it got down to the final two, and I ended up getting second place in that competition. But that's one of my best memories. You know, it was a great trip. That was definitely the farthest I've ever traveled in that time. So it was really fun just to really see different parts of land. You know, here in Western New York, you know, on my reservation here, it's all woodland area. So it's all trees, and that's what I always grew up with. So to go out and cross the plains and see mountains, see all that, that was very beautiful, along with the experience that I got to have with singing with very talented singers, and in the end coming out with second place in that contest.
Wow, man. Hey, man, I hope I get to see you perform again, you know, and when this is all said and done, man, you got there and cross paths again, and, you know, but for 20, was it 20 years old?
What was that?
You're 20 years old?
Yeah.
That's amazing. You know, all the things you get to do. I appreciate that. Hey, Tab, I'm going to come back over to you. You know, I know that this could be like a emotional question for you, but, you know, we had some time up at Nike, you know, last spring, got to share the stage, and normally I'm a pretty spunky kind of addict guy, you know, when I'm on stage. I should probably hit the road with you guys. I'm just joking, but
there it is.
You know, you
put it out in the universe.
Yeah, man. Well, you talked about your grandma, and it was just a real emotional for me because, you know, you talking about your grandma reminded me of my mom, right? And you know, you talked about how your grandma got you through some things, and 2011, you know, you were diagnosed with cancer.
2014.
2014. Okay, 2014. Sure. How did you know, how did music get you through all that?
Well, I want to start with thank you for that chance. I want to start with a compliment to Jaden, because I had the opportunity to work with him in the studio thanks to a good friend named Wayne Silas Jr., who's an amazing artist himself. You know, I love that guy. He's been putting it down for Indian country. And when they brought Jaden to the studio and we collaborated on something, I was just blown away by the talent, by his humility, by the fact that he's such an amazing spirit. And I just love where his mind is and where his heart is. So I want to salute you, first of all, because you are going to be an amazing artist, and you're evolving and growing. And I'm very proud that I got to share the studio with you. As far as music being healing for me, I would honestly have to say, when I was laying in that bed doing chemotherapy, there was two things that I was thinking about. First of all, my wife and my kids, and then second, I just want to be back on that stage with my brothers Will.i.am and Apple, performing for thousands of people, 100,000 people, even 5 people. It didn't matter. I love to perform. I've been performing since I was 5 years old in front of my grandmother in her living room with the dreams of just taking that joy and that happiness and taking that around the world. And if you look at the mosaic makeup of Black Eyed Peas, you have a Filipino from the Philippines, which is Apple Diap. You have Will.i.am, who's African-American, born in a Mexican community, raised in a Mexican community. And you have me, the native Mexica. And we embody what it's like to have cultural representation from different ethnicities, backgrounds, but music is the conduit and the driving force. So for me, when I thought about performing Where's the Love and performing I Gotta Fill In and Boom Boom Pow and all these songs that have gotten me to a place where I can travel the world with my best friends that we've been best friends since we were 16 and have had so much success, which is like, that's like the minor things that I was worrying about. I was worrying about just being able to have one more moment on that stage so that I could provide therapy to folks that need it, that hour, that 2 hours that we're performing. People feel that the music, they tap into that frequency of good time, of joy, of hope, of inspiration. And that's why I feel like Creator was like, Jimmy, your mission is not done. You need to go and fight this, beat this, and let's go. And it took me, like I said, to Standing Rock. Then we created the Standing Rock, No Dapple song with these amazing Native artists and relatives and allies to be able to show our art and give our art to the water protectors and all Indigenous people that were standing in solidarity at that moment. Then we did One World, which is something that we collaborated on again with Mag 7. So music has always been a conduit and an engine for all of us to fulfill whatever that void is that we're individually lacking. We as a unit, as Mag 7, we're able to embrace that and just give it back to the folks that receive it and like the energy. And with Black Eyed Peas, you know, man, dude, like I can't tell you how blessed we are at this moment. A band from 1998 that came out with an album in 1998 called Behind the Front in 2020 is having a bigger run than we've ever imagined. Especially after beating cancer. I thought my life was done, dude. I thought, okay, I'm saying my prayers. I'm giving my life to Creator and saying, thank you, Creator, for all the blessings. And then you get that moment of like, not done yet. Then that's a personal thing. Then when you get into career-wise and you start looking at like the fact that me, Will, and Apple have overcome so many things. And then for us to be able to tap into this new frequency of giving back to the Latino community, another half of me. You know, I did the embracing and giving back to Indian country with Mag 7, and now we get to do that with Black Eyed Peas with another perspective of who I am, giving back to Latino community, Indigenous people from South America and Mexico, and letting folks know how we can have music be the healing process, no matter where you're from, no matter what language you speak. Music speaks to everyone.
That's right. That is it. Music speaks to everyone. And I got a little workout here like in 30 minutes and it's all music that gets me moving, you know, so
check out Translation. It's a good record it's a good playlist for working out. Boom, it's right there, Translation.
I'm gonna get it, bro.
Shameless plug. Boom, boom.
Hey, everybody get Translation. Download it. Come on, let's do it. Hey, wow. So real quick, I'm gonna go over here to Hannah for a second, but Tab, One World and Stand Up. I know One World was in Pechanga, Stand Up was in Standing Rock out in Cannonball. How do we get that video? How can we check those videos out?
Yeah, so with Standing Rock and One World, it's on my YouTube page. Go to BP Taboo, my channel, and you can, you know, just receive the good vibes because that's what it's about. It's about putting out good energy, people feeling it, and people actually like feeling the hope and the inspiration to be proud of where you come from. A lot of times kids are, you know, they're intimidated or they're scared or they're like not feeling confident about themselves. And we just want you to see the beauty within you, within culture. Be proud of where you come from. Be proud of being Indigenous. You know, we are a beautiful people and we got to embrace that. And we got to have heroes that don't wear capes that could inspire us and inspire the youth to become, you know, whatever you want to be in life. And that's what Mag 7 is all about. That's what these songs are about, empowering the people.
Right. Wow. Good. So be sure to check out that YouTube channel right there. Okay. Hey, Hannah, I'm going to come back over here real quick. you got to tell me about this competition. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier. You said you know, the girls beat the boys during this large competition. Man, talk about that competition for a little bit.
So this competition is known as Ahomele, and it is a song competition that is practiced between the different Kamehameha schools. And so it is a competition that offers students the opportunity to connect with our Hawaiian culture through mele and song and oli as well. And this competition is judged by a panel of renowned Hawaiian musicians and cultural practitioners. And they pretty much just judge us high school students. And so there are several different awards given. I mentioned one of them was the Kamalu o A'apuel, which is the one the women won. But there are also awards like Kamaka o Ka'ihe, which is the point of the spear, which is the award for the highest combined score, as well as Kahulu Kupuna Award, which highlights how well your use of Hawaiian languages in the song, and Kalea Powahi, which is an award given to the most outstanding student director. And in 2019, although we weren't able to participate in the Ahomele competition this year due to the circumstances, in 2019, my female cohort actually took home the Kamalu A'apua Award for our rendition of the song Pua A'ali'i. And it took months of preparation to leading into the competition. So it felt really great for our girls to win this achievement, mostly because the song was written by Anuenue Punua and arranged by Les Caballos. And the lyrics of the song were inspired by the time she spent living on the island of Hawaii to build a canoe house. And a large part of the time she spent there was gathering pili grass from her home on the slopes of Mauna Kea. And she began to notice the ali'i blossoms that also grew on those slopes. And it was her first time living away from home, and the symbolism of the ali'i blossom as being steadfast and deeply rooted and able to withstand strong winds and storms helped her through that time and reminded her to be strong. So I think for us girls singing this song, we were really able to resonate with it and being steadfast and strong like the ali'i blossom.
Wow. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. My res dog is barking around. Well, I'm excited. You know, I think, you know, maybe the boys are glad that it didn't go down this past year. You know, I got to find out. I got to go out there and I got to listen to some of this, you know? So, wow. Hey, you know, I know that, you know, Taboo, I know you got to run here in a little bit, you know, but I wanted to ask you and Jaden, and Hannah, we'll come back to you. You know, we'll kind of close out our show here. But, you know, real quick, Jaden and then Tab, just in some few words, a lot of our young Indian men, you know, we have to find an outlet. All three of us have found an outlet somewhere. And, you know, whatever it may be, if you could just encourage our young men, or even just our youth, you know, real quick about talent, what would you encourage? I'll start with you because I know Tab, you got to take off here in a second. So Jaden will go with you, and then Tab can close it out.
So some encouraging words that I'd like to share is, let's see here. Is there's many things to music to think of and keep in mind, all the way down to feelings, who it's for, what it's for. There's a lot that can come from music, and like Taboo said, you know, there's music speaks to everyone. So what I'd like to say is, don't get discouraged. You know, please don't get discouraged. If you're just starting out, you know, if you're halfway in, if you're as far as you think you can go. Just don't get discouraged. Don't give up on it. With music, it's just like anything else. It's a endless state of learning. So, so when you think you're at that point to where, you know, you're not doing that great, or you don't know enough about it, or you know already a lot about it, so there's not really, you can't go much further. You know, that's just what it is. It's just an endless state of learning. So to keep going and keep learning every little bit, and when you finish up with what you want to do, there's tons of musicians and tons of types of music all throughout the world. You know, you can swap it up and go learn something new. You know, there's always something new, and even at that, share your own, share what you've learned, share how you go through music. So just keep going with it, you know, experience a lot. There's a lot to experience. There's a lot out there in the world, and keep exercising the gift of music. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
Wow. Endless learning, man. Hey, Tab, before you take off, go ahead, man. What would you encourage our Native youth to keep pursuing their dreams? What would you say?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Nikki and the Sine family for even thinking of me to be part of this amazing experience. I also want to thank you, Chance, for always being a great friend, the moderator, the inspiration, the voice, the motivation to our youth, but also to us as men, to be examples and role models, and to lead by example. I'm very proud of Hannah for being a strong woman and really taking her gift and her talent to the masses in her world, whatever speaks to her, and she's able to empower not only her people but women. I myself have a daughter, and I want my daughter to be a very independent, very strong and powerful woman, just like my grandmother was, just like my wife is, just like my mom is. You know, the women in my life have been the matriarchs of my tribe, and I always honor women with ultimate respect, the elders, the grandmothers, the aunties, even the uncles, and my two-spirit families. We want to always say that no matter where you come from, please never give up on your dreams, because dream big, as my grandmother used to say. Dreams can happen. We are the prime example of, no matter what capacity, status, level, we're living out our dreams. And these are our passions and our loves for music, for performing. These are the things that inspire us and keep us fighting on. And also, one of the things that's important to me and that I stand by is healing, and also health and wellness. So fellas, please make sure you get checked for cancer, for testicular cancer. If you have an ailment, you have a bad leg, you have a feeling that is not typical, go get checked, man, because honestly, I wish that I could have found my tumor sooner, but I was like, I don't need to go to the doctor. I'll just put some vapor rub on my leg or on my back, and I'm good. But in actuality, I waited too long, and I had to go through chemo, and I had to go through the traumatic experience of battling cancer. But as a voice and as a person that is speaking from the heart, don't allow your ailment or something that's hurting you or affecting you to overtake you. Right now is your time. So I send nothing but love. I say aho to everyone out there, and thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to speak and to inspire the youth.
Hey, Taboo, we appreciate you coming on, and you know, you've been with us the past 2 nights, so we do appreciate it. I know you're really busy. I know you're about to jump on a call, but again, you know, people download.
You know where my heart is, Chance. You know that every time I'm called for anything, Nikki, my family, you guys mean so much to me, and I'll make time because I love Indian country, and I just want to be of service and help. That's all I want to do, because you inspire one kid, next thing you know, you inspire the next thing you know, you inspire 1 million of youth to be able to never give up on their dreams.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, man. And when I seen you on 4th of July, that's what I said. I was like, man, we're on TV, because you represented it. You're on TV. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Taboo another round of applause, man. We appreciate you, Tab. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Tab. And
thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Chance. Thanks, Hannah and Jaden.
All right. Hey, Hannah, I'm going to go over to you, man. That was awesome, man. Taboo jumped on. Hey, listen, you were two young people that can say that you were on a webinar with, Taboo, who was in the Super Bowl and, who was on 4th of July the other night with NBC. Hannah, let me just ask you real quick. I know you guys are going to close us out, but, if you can encourage young ladies, if you can encourage young Native youth, that may be struggling with, their talent or whatever it may be, what would you say?
That's a great question. I think that, like Taboo said, you have to really look at yourself and your culture and just find a base in that first and root yourself deeply in what you know and what you grew up knowing and learning. So I think if you are struggling or have difficulty going into the future and looking ahead and seeing a light, that you should look at yourself and reflect on what is inside of you and what also has become or had come before you. Like the Native Hawaiians, we believe a lot in our ancestors guiding us and helping us, and just calling upon them for guidance and reassurance for your future, I think is very important.
Yeah. I apologize. I was trying to, and could you say that last part? I apologize.
That's okay. Just looking at your ancestors for guidance, those around you, your family is surrounding you to help you into the future and looking towards a light in the future.
Because, and you bring up a really good point, Hannah, because, through all of this, that's where our responsibility is, and that's where our accountability is, and that's where we have to play our end of our journey. Our ancestors, our grandparents put us in the position that we are in today, and we have to play our part. Any listener out there, any young person, any parent, whatever it may be, support your kids, encourage your kids, and let this journey be a journey that he or she wants to be on. And a lot of times, we force our kids to do whatever it may be, and it doesn't work out, because you have to meet your child at their passion and encourage at their passion. And as long as it's healthy, and as long as it's encouraging, then we can push them. Then we can encourage them, or whatever it may be. Instead of just I want you to do this. We have to understand what we want to become, and that's the message I got out of you three today. Is that you have to understand music so that you can share it, so that you can express it. And in these final minutes, again, I want to thank the Center for Native American Youth at the Aspen Institute for, having this special edition of Music is Medicine. And, before I turn it back over to you guys, I also want to invite everybody who's participated in the webinar today. Don't forget next week, we've got an amazing lineup. Next week, we're going to have Decolonizing Democracy. We have Paulette Jordan that's going to be with us. We got Anthony Tomaz is going to be with us, and Isabel Coronado that would be with us. That's going to be taking place next Wednesday right here on the Facebook Live page of Center for Native American Youth. Let's make sure that we promote it. Let's make sure that we tell friends. Let's be sure that we share it, because it's going to be a pretty important topic next week. We're going to be doing this for the next 3 Wednesdays. We got this one next weekend. We have Decolonizing Democracy. The week after that will be part 2 of our special edition, which is Music is Medicine. So be checking in on our Facebook, our website, whatever it may be, because we have a very impactful the next 3 weeks. With that being said, however you want to go about it, I want to turn this portion of the program back over to you two as we close out with a song, a chant, whatever it may be, and then maybe explain it, and then that'll take us to the top of the hour. So again, I want to thank you both, and I'm just ready to sit back and enjoy and listen. So without further ado, I give you Hannah, and I give you Jaden, as they close us out with some special music.
All right, so I would like to share an oli, and it's entitled E Ho Mai. And going back to what I was saying about looking towards our ancestors, so this oli was written by Edith Kanakaole and was originally chanted to request knowledge and wisdom from ancestral deities when setting out to accomplish a specific task. Today, it is commonly used at an event or small gatherings to really help focus a group's energies. And it really just asks our ancestors for knowledge and help in clearing our minds of any negativity or things like that. So yeah, this is E Ho Mai. E ho mai kai ke mai luna mai e una mea huna no eo una mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai kai ke mai luna mai e una mea huna no eo ona mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai kai ke mai luna mai e ona mea huna no eo ona mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai
Mas grazie. Everybody, let's give Hannah a round of applause. Yeah, Hannah. Jaden, I turn this portion of the program over to you as you take us out today.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. So the song I will be sharing today is what we call Eskeni Gainasi. So it's a new women's shuffle dance song. This song is sung on a water drum. So it's basically just a hollowed out, what would normally be, a lot of people make them out of just a log, just a hollowed out log with a band of splint wood wrapped with fabric and leather with water on the inside. So this is an Eskani song. I do have some songs featured on my YouTube channel as well. This one is a new one that I recently composed, so you guys are the first to hear it. Hey, 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 aha, swada diyo senge, when is the se ane one, ida oso wadi when yos now yo kanawya, hey, ah, swada diyo senge, when is the se ane one, ida oso wadi when yos now yo kanawya, hey, Dani never heka deyo na de sadeshon jesi wadi weni yoshi de oso na yo kanawya eya aswa down the yos nanga weni sase ane one ji de oso wadi weni yos na yo kanawya eya Dani never heka deyo na de sadeshon jesi wadi weni yoshi de oso na yo kanawya eya hi.
Ahoo. Mazagratz there, brother. Ahoo. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Music is Medicine, the first part of two specials here. Before we get out of here, Hannah, is there anything that you would like to close out with?
I'd just like to say thank you for this opportunity. I'm so blessed to be here to speak with such amazing individuals, talented. I'm so lucky to have spoken with you guys, and hopefully shared a lot of information, and I can't wait to see what else is to be shared through this through these episodes. So thank you.
All right, Jaden.
Yes, again, thank you for having me here and providing this wonderful opportunity. I'm very thankful for it. I'm very thankful to be here. Very thankful to meet you, Hannah. Very thankful to see Taboo again, and very thankful to see you, Chance, too. It's a great thing. I'm very happy I was reached out to. It's a huge opportunity, and happy to be able to be here and be a speaker for Native youth. You know, it's a big thing. I wish I had something like this, you know, coming up. You know, I would have definitely been great to see have something there. You know what I mean, to encourage me. So I'm happy to have gone through it and learned a lot and be able to share what I know.
We appreciate that, Jaden. We appreciate you both. We want to thank you guys for joining us, all you listeners back home. We'll be back next week, same time, same time, same bat channel, however they say it. Decolonizing Democracy. We have Paulette Jordan, we have Anthony Thomas, and we have Isabel Cornado. It's going to be a great episode next week. A lot of really good information. I want to take this time to thank the Center for Native American Youth. I want to congratulate Nikki Petrie on becoming our executive director over there at the center, at the Aspen, you know, and as well as the Aspen Institute. I want to give a very special shout out to my main man, Jared, for organizing everything behind the scene and, you know, making it to where, you know, it's easier for me, it seems. It's easier for everybody. And we set the platform up in a really good way. So with that being said, don't forget to join us next Wednesday right here. You can go over to the Facebook page, Center for Native American Youth. You can also follow us on Instagram, all the social platforms. We're very excited for the next 2 weeks. And after today, the next 2 weeks coming up. And what I would like to say in closing is this. You know, we are going to get through this. Whatever you're talented at, don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on who you are. You know, get in front of that mirror and sing and dance to yourself, because that is what it's all about. And we just want to make sure that, you know, we are here to support you, to encourage you. We will get through this, and there will be days ahead. But in the meantime, let's take these moments that are given to us right now, and let's make a difference. Hannah, best of luck in everything that you do. Jaden, best of luck in everything that you do. You guys are going to do some phenomenal things in our Native communities. And, you know, it's truly an honor to have our first Hawaiian guest, and it won't be the last. So thank you for being the trailblazer and raising the bar. And you guys have fun, you know, out on Maui and up in New York. You guys take care of yourself. I'm Chance Rush right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Join me each week as we do our Tele-Native webinars being presented by the National Center for Native American Youth at the Aspen Institute. I'm Chance Rush. You guys have a good day.